Oh, snap!
We're snapping at every topic that makes your fingers
Snap.
We are back.
Yes.
We are back.
Yes.
With a bang.
Once again.
Yes. So, my name is Domi Toto, and for those who don't know me, I am the girl she thinks she is.
Oh, yeah, she thinks she is. Well, I am Super Toto, and I happen to be with this wonderful, beautiful, lovely human being.
Wow, and you smell nice.
Yeah,
You smell like me.
I tried to show up.
It's not like they can smell you.
Try to show up.
So, tell us, baby, what is the topic for today?
So our topic for today, by the way, now I think now we're gonna do our best. We've been making promises about we're gonna be consistent.
Okay, guys,
Consistent.
life is life.
Life just also becomes consistent. But at least we're gonna try, man. This means once a week, twice a week, just to bring a video. But today's topic we're speaking about being vulnerable with someone.
With someone. It could be friends, it could be your husband, your partner, it could be your parents, it could be your sisters, anyone, like any type of friendship, or let me say community, being vulnerable with that.
Yeah.
Or let me say the art of honesty.
The art of honesty.
The art of honesty, yes.
So for us, we define being vulnerable as being able to be honest with someone else. But at the same time, this is where we might differ. Maybe you can also share in your comments if you agree with us. But we don't feel like you should be honest with each and every person that you meet.
Yes, you need to have the spirit of discernment.
You see, because whatever you are going through, not everyone else deserves to know it.
Yes.
Because we get to a situation whereby you share things with people, and later on, when things are not right in the friendship or in the relationship, people will use those things against you. So as much as there's that need to share, but you always need to have a spirit of discernment. Who can I share with? You know? And that's where the issue of importance starts to come. That's where you need to be able to say, this person is important to me as I am important to them. Because there's also a situation whereby you are important to me, but I'm not important to you. There's a situation whereby I'm your number one, whilst you are my number 10. You really need to understand, being vulnerable, you can't just be vulnerable with anyone else. You really need to have that spirit of discernment, and be honest, And when we went going through this, you will find that you can have about 10 friends. But if you can really analyze, you could find out that you actually have 2 friends.
Yes.
Everyone else is just...
Like, out of those 10 friends, there's only... Zuri wants to come in.
There's someone we always vulnerable with, Zuri.
You can only be vulnerable with one person or 2 people out of those people.
Yeah. I actually read somewhere it said that if you actually have 3 friends, you are a very lucky person. Blessed person. Like, this is not saying that you don't have friends to go out with, you don't have friends, but those people that you can really show up for you, undeserving so, and you can also show up for them like that. But I think the more that we're growing, the more we're realizing that people are on their own.
Yes.
And it's okay to be not to have so many people. You get my point. At least be honest enough with yourself. So today we're speaking about being vulnerable.
Yes. Yeah. When I think about this topic, when I define it, is basically to be honest to thyself and to everyone else, like in your circle or in your community or your partner. Be honest so that people don't have ridiculous or expectations, or sometimes because you're not honest, people don't know, and you think that you want this. They serving you in the wrong, let me say, department. That time you're like, I don't like that. I don't want that and stuff. So I think for me, it comes with that. And I want us to start with being vulnerable, to your partner, honesty and stuff, I'll start with me, ne? I'll just name one thing. Maybe you can name another one. For me, I think at first it was hard to be honest to you. Okay? In a sense of, when we started dating, it was not an issue because siyafundana, we're learning each other and stuff. But let me say, 5th year of the relationship, where okay, when it comes to my career, akuhlangani, and it was, what's wrong? Okay, akuhlangani, akuhlangani, and when it came to the sense of your career is going really well, but I felt like my career was stagnant and stuff, and it was really hard to be honest and vulnerable, because at the same time you don't want to be like ungrateful, you know. And I know by me being really honest, it will also like damper on you and hurt you, you know. So sometimes you're like, let me not say anything, because it will also sound as if like I'm not grateful and stuff. But inside that time, but I think because you've made the room so comfortable, you always made room for that type of conversation. Like, how do you feel? Like, do you feel like God is disappointing you? Do you feel like you're not good enough? Do you feel like, because there are times you would always like assure me and say that, babe, you're good enough. You are this, you are the best. You bring this to the table. So like, don't dim your light. And I really appreciate that. And sometimes I feel like, as much as sometimes we do want to be honest, people also need to be able to read the room, you know. And I think you are good at that, reading the room, because sometimes you feel like, I'm so worthless, I'm not bringing this to the table, or I'm not helping out at home, you know, and stuff. And I think opening that discussion like opened other doors to be vulnerable and be honest, you see. So sometimes it doesn't have to be like your partner, but you could be staying with the family members, and they don't know how you feel about that, you know, the fact that you're not working, or your career is not moving in the direction that you want to and stuff. And I think it's important to get people who always show you grace. And I think Ayonando is that you didn't say, okay, Mastanda Zeka. You always like, there's a spot here, apply, you know. Sometimes sorry guys to put it like this, but it does demotivate you. Like, I'll pray for you. Dude, if you know of an opening, tell me, you know, so that I can apply and stuff. And also that thing, you know, when someone is like speaking, hey, my career is not here, and then they're like, stop complaining. Like, sometimes have room for grace, for their feelings, like their feelings are valid and stuff.
Yeah, for me, I think it was also the part of being honest about the finances. You know, I think with the moment that we got to that point of we reach a hurdle, a challenge, you know, it was also that part of, you know, as a man, you have this idea that you have to be the one who provides, you have to be the one who comes up with a solution financially, you know. And there are times where, even as much as you are a man, but you can try everything, but you just feel the doors just closed, you know, and you can just provide to a certain point of a level, you know. And I think for me, when I could not necessarily maybe just bring enough money at home for the challenges that we had at that time, I kind of felt like maybe you think maybe I'm not the right person for you, or I'm a failure, or if you can compare me with other husbands, you could actually look at me in a way more lesser to say, well, we are struggling. That's the aim. You know, like, you're gonna compare me to other husbands, you know, and you're like, he's not showing up the way that we thought he was gonna show up, you know, or he's failing to show up because financially he's not meeting where, you know. But I think the moment that I started communicating those feelings, like in this season, this is how I feel like I'm not doing enough, I feel like I'm failing somewhere along the line, you were able to say, that's not my feelings, that's not how I view the situation.
I would actually viewed it the other way, but I'm the one who's making the reason why we're in this situation is because of my career.
You know, so here we are, I'm thinking myself that because we're not communicating, we're not being vulnerable, I'm thinking myself, you are viewing me this way, now we can't use it. So somewhere along the line, we are actually thinking the same thing. And when we started having that conversation, we were able to say, listen, in this relationship, there is no one person who provides. It's not your duty to provide as a man. It's not your duty to provide as a woman. It's our duty. It's our home. We are the ones who are building, you know. And to be honest, you know, when those feelings started being honest about that, at least for myself, you know, it was as much as I knew that we still wanted to try more opportunity when the business was not going very well. I was still able, in a way, not to see myself as a failure.
Serious, like, look at you, what's wrong with you?
It's just like, you know, not to see myself as a failure, but to understand and be honest that, you know, sometimes things just don't go the way that we want them. You know, sometimes the doors are just not gonna open up, you know. So being vulnerable helps you that the other person, you know, it takes away unnecessary expectations, if I could put it like that, you know, because, you know, the expectations that you create about yourself, about the other person, and that person doesn't have those expectations. Like, they're old enough to understand, but I see you are trying, and it hurts me the fact that you are shutting down because those things are not coming true, you know. So I acknowledge that we are trying, but we are in this thing together. So being vulnerable with your partner helps with that.
Yes, I certainly do agree. And maybe let's go to being vulnerable, maybe with family. For me, with family, I find it hard. I think I just have a spirit of discernment because you don't know what they are thinking or or kind of the expectation, because sometimes you can be too vulnerable and then they use that against you. I'll just make an example that, oh, I got an increased salary at work, and then piti all the time,
black tax,
and black tax, you know, and stuff. So like I struggle with family, but I do have certain people I know who in the family I can open up to, you know. But at home I always act like the broke person because I don't want people to have high expectations from me and stuff, because I know myself. I'm that type of person. I'll do anything, I'll open my pockets and stuff, but I need to understand people are also not that way, you know. Sometimes it's not even about money, but being vulnerable by advice is being always like I can show up, you know, when I want to show up. And then here's the thing about being honest with other people. Just because you're honest to other people doesn't mean they will be honest with you.
Yeah, that's true. I think for me, I think, you know, I think it's my own views. Maybe they can be controversial, but I think we use the word family very loosely.
Yes.
You know, for me, guys, forgive me. Maybe I need prayers, but for me, we are not family just because we are from the same household or we share the same surname. No, we must work for that.
Yes,
you know,
must work for that title.
We must work for that title. You know, just because we're raised in the same home or we are cousins or we share the same surname or our dads or brothers or what. No, for me that's not family. We must work for that title. You know, because you know, like you know, people, because of this thing of family, they will hurt you, all in the name that says Alan.
Yes.
You are forced to forgive me, or you are forced to be in your life. You get my, because we are family. And that time, like, no. I'm respecting you. You are not respecting me. You get my point? So for me, I've passed the stage of just using that word carelessly. For me, I'm intentional. You know, like if I've got 20 family members, in my mind, I've got 4 family members. Because those are the 4 people that we are both working for the relationship. You know, I show respect, you show respect. I'm honest to you, you are honest with me. You know, I'm helping you, you are helping me. You know, it's not even about the issue of people giving you money when you are struggling, but that kindness, that sympathy, that empathetic, you know, that thing of when you're doing a mistake, someone can sit you down from a brotherly love or from a sisterly love to say, that's where I pause and want to. Because with family, even there's too much competition. You know, there's too much competition. So now when it comes to family, I struggle to share with a lot of family members because I kind of feel like we're just on a relaxed note. We are so comfortable, but we're family. So I can say anything, I can do anything.
Anyhow,
I can take your money and not say anything about giving you back because you're my brother. Dude, you're supposed to understand. No, I don't understand.
I think there's a lack of communication.
With
love.
There's so much entitlement with family, and it can lead to just being not unfair. You know, and there's so much expectations that are not communicated. You know, and when you are trying to communicate those expectations,
it's like they scratch them off. Like it's like you can't have a life, you can't have responsibilities, you can't. I
can't say I can't show up on this part of responsibility because it's not mine and it's unnecessary. You can't create a party. And then after creating a party, now you're demanding me to contribute. No, if I'm contributing to your party, it's your party. That means I'm taking away something from
my household.
You know, at least be fair enough to communicate in advance. But if I don't have it, respect that. You know. But I think with family, because I feel like we respect friends more than we respect family members. You know. So for me, I think on that part, it's very few people that I can be vulnerable with the family.
Yes. When it comes to, let's go to friendships.
I think for me it's the same with friendships, you know. I was just saying, you know, like if you'll find that, you know, even if you have 5 friends, but there are 2 people who can really show up for you. You know, like when you're going through a financial situation, that one person you can be like, okay, it's hard to ask, but I'm going to ask.
And they won't even make you feel like
if they have it, they don't have it. But there are those friends when you're like, I know yes, but and the man like, no, I don't want to ruin.
Because whatever like conversation they'll have, it's like they'll speak about your money issue. Are you like do you?
Whether we like it or not, there are certain type of friends where we want them to see us always okay. You know, like then, I'm always good, chief. I'm always good. Like financially, I'm good. At home, I'm good. You know. You get my point. Like we do have those type of friends, you know, but we also do have those type of friends where
you
like,
can be vulnerable, like you can be naked. You can be naked.
Yeah, man.
For me, I think also with vulnerability, like with friends and stuff, sometimes some other people are not ready for you being vulnerable. Like they're not ready to receive it. Let me put it that way.
It can feel like a burden.
Like it's like a burden. It's like when you become vulnerable. Like listen. And I won't be able, for example, to be available and then the person is not ready to receive that, or they're like but mnandilapha, and it is so weird that at times, even with such things, people can't get to a compromise. It's like people want their own way. It's like my way or no way, you know. So I think also being vulnerable with friends, it can be tricky at times because some people don't understand the season that you're in, and vice versa, you know. And it's like if and stuff, so I think with friendship, to me, it's that, you know, or like you try to be vulnerable and then like
you know that
like
also,
how like we but I was trying for you to get this, you know.
You know, there's also this part of and you must always note, even if you are doing it to someone else, or someone else is doing it to you, to know that it's wrong. There's this God element. Once I start helping you, in a way, you are lower than me, and I'm your servant. You are my servant. So if I say let's go there, I'll go but never use this different because
sometimes start having an attitude.
Yeah, you know, once you do that to someone, that's a very wrong thing. You must stop doing that, you know. And once someone does that to you, that's very wrong. If you can't call it out,
or you can't even have an opinion,
end it, you know. Because once they start helping, they start seeing themselves as I've became your God. You must bow down to me. You know, you can't, you know, have different views over me. You know, we can't have because last month. So why are you arguing about us not going there? You get my point. So you also need to look at that, you know, but not only in friends, but family, even in partners.
Everywhere.
Call that thing out. If you don't want to call it out, just leave it nicely, you know.
Like everywhere.
Yeah.
Like
but sometimes people are not aware they're doing it, but you can make it aware. But sometimes you just need to.
But some people choose not to read the room or like learn you or stuff. Like for example,
whenever people see you, they always see you for that problem.
Yes.
They can no longer see you as. Like they will see it, but because I was like, oh man, financially I was not okay next month.
They also see you.
You will always see me as a person who's struggling financially. Like, no, I was struggling financially 2 months ago. I'm okay now.
Yeah.
You know, you always be like, even if it's always like, it's like, oh, it's Aram, oh shame. You know, you always have that oh shame attitude over me. You're destroying the friendship by doing that. We are all going through something, you know. If I was sick, don't always see me as a person who was sick. I was sick then. I've gone back to the person I am. So friendship sometimes is like that.
It's tricky. And I think also the thing of expectation in the sense of, by like, for example, let's say I had a baby and you had a baby. Just because you bought me a present, I'm not obligated to buy you a gift.
That thing, guys.
Guys. Like, I feel like gifting, it should be wholeheartedly. It mustn't be forced, you know?
You see that? Like, that's the part of, like, I don't think I want presents from people.
Yeah, like,
I want your present, though.
Yes. Like, I've even got to a point, like, even an event that I'm going to do for my baby, like, I'm going to say no gifts because people don't understand. Kabanis and stuff.
You don't take any gift of 5,000. You planned for it because you knew my birthday is in March. Suddenly, no, you doing a birthday on June, cousin on May. Where am I gonna get 5,000 rand to? Because I know that's not by each other.
So, like, also with that,
let's take it to relationship gifts.
I think also being honest, vulnerable. Like, let's be honest in all forms. Like, in a sense, but Sipo, I don't like it when you shout. You know, Sipo. I don't like chocolates. Sipo, I don't like it's because sometimes you do things and you're like. But bruh, like, I've been your friend or your partner for the past 5 years. Have you not seen? But I don't like this, you know, and stuff. So I think, hold on, mama. We should be honest in all forms. In friendships, in family, Okay. In family, in everywhere.
Yes. Yeah.
In family, in everywhere, because I feel like it will also save a lot of heartache. It will also save a lot of friendships. It will also save and guys, when I say being honest, I say be honest with love, because sometimes we have this thing of that I've communicated it. I want you to know, but there's a thin line between speaking things and speaking them with love, with grace. So it's like that's not right. When you speak to, like, sometimes take that thing how would you feel? And if you feel like I wouldn't take it well, like, be the bigger person and like I wouldn't do that to another person. I think what is important, have the spirit of discernment. Like, sometimes I would be like, you coming home late and you're like, I wanted us to do something. I'm like, yo, I'll let you sleep. And then the spirit will be like, no. That time, I don't know that you had a gig and stuff, and that's gonna bring like something to our family. But you see the importance of the spirit of discernment. Yes, there's always a time to be honest. You can't be like, Kusuleki Sipo just lost his mom, and I'm like, I don't like that thing. Like, guys,
but timing is everything.
Your timing you need to check your timing. It is very important. So I feel like we could speak the whole day, but I think is that this year, let's be honest. But in all things, let's be honest with grace, with love. Like, call yourself out now if you have bad habits, call yourself out.
And also, most importantly, also be vulnerable with yourself.
Yes.
Find time to spend. Especially for us guys, be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself that I really need a financial change.
I really need to communicate more.
Change. Yeah, because recently I was struggling with health, and I had to be vulnerable with myself and be like, hey, I'm scared now. I'm scared. This thing of doctors and medicines and needles, I'm really scared, and I understood that I'm no longer the same because I can't focus on anything else. I'm scared of this. So by the time I went to the doctor, by the time I went for the operation, I was already, like you couldn't make me feel bad. You can't make me feel. So it's important for you to be vulnerable with yourself, because we put so much mask to the world. You do not deserve to put a mask yourself.
To yourself.
When you're by yourself, take off the mask and be vulnerable.
Yes, and I think also be vulnerable, like with your goals, with your career, everything.
Man.
Guys,
and sometimes your goals, you didn't meet them. Be honest and say, I tried everything.
Because I was not consistent, because I didn't put this, because of like
and have grace for yourself and love yourself. You should not be hard on ourselves.
Yeah, before we end, actually, I'm thinking of like this season, like since December and since now, like, guys, we've been sick. Like, December it was my daughter, January my husband in and out surgery, and February it was me. And I remember one of my friends said that, like, Domi, what's going on? Like, you've been scarce, you have not answering our messages and stuff. And I just said that this season that I'm in, like, anamandla, like, I don't have like didini, where like I'm tired. I don't have the strength to communicate. I don't have the strength to pick up my phone and having conversation with. All I want to do is take care of my husband, my daughter, myself, and just work. That's all.
Because sometimes, guys, you're not even tired physically, but you're just tired of worry.
Yes.
Have you ever got to a point where no man I don't know what's going on now.
Yes, it's like even now we're not 100% there yet, but it will get better. And I love the fact that my friend had grace, was like, when you're ready, like, I'm here for you, and then I came back, I was like, hi, just to check in, and then, but still I don't want to speak, like, all I want to do, like, I woke up this morning at 7 and then I slept again 7:30. I'm just tired, and people also need to understand close season. Like, I can't it's just that the season that I'm in is taking much of my time, but I feel like we can speak. But just tell us down below, who are you willing to be honest to? Is it friends? Who do you find it hard to be honest to? Like, just right down
and
below.
It's your feelings. They are justified.
It's your feelings,
it's how
and
you
your
feel,
feelings are valid at the end of the day.
Yeah, your feelings are valid. And also, man, if you believe in God, I think you should be vulnerable with Him.
Number one.
Just be vulnerable.
Honest.
You don't even have to
God.
close your eyes. You don't have to kneel. You can just sit
like
in the bed and be like,
doesn't mean
brother, man.
Yeah, dude, God.
Show up.
This is where I feel, and yeah. Because I've also know that a lot of people have made us feel guilty for being vulnerable and honest to God. It's like I'm disrespectful.
I can't say to God, hey, I'm disappointed.
I'm disappointed. Hey, be honest with God.
No, but that's my feelings.
That's my feelings.
Don't tell me about theology. That's how I feel. He will speak with me. I'm not speaking to you. I'm speaking to Him. Yes. He didn't say I was disappointed in you. I'm disappointed in Him. Yes. So I feel like He's quiet in my life. That's my honesty. There's no point of lying because He can see the heart most. He will answer me when stop with your theology. What are you doing?
But guys, until we meet again, bye.
Love you very much.